Then David said in his heart, Now I shall perish one day by the hand of Saul. There is nothing better for me than that I should escape to the land of the Philistines. Then Saul will despair of seeking me any longer within the borders of Israel, and I shall escape out of his hand. It is Friday, the 25th day of August, 2023, and it's time for the reading of our devotional thought for today. Trusting that you will sit quiet for a bit, open your heart, and take in what God would have especially for you today. And our devotional thought is entitled, Where to Turn When Your Thoughts Go Dark. And 1 Samuel chapter 27 verse 1 is our verse for today, and it states, Then David said in his heart, Now I shall perish one day by the hand of Saul. There is nothing better for me than that I should escape to the land of the Philistines. Then Saul will despair of seeking me any longer within the borders of Israel, and I shall escape out of his hand. That's 1 Samuel chapter 27, verse 1. Alistair Begg writes, Sometimes our thoughts are our greatest enemy. However difficult his circumstance, David had always placed his confidence in God. Indeed, in the final conversation that ever took place between King Saul and David, David declared to Saul that although he didn't know what would happen, he knew that God would deliver him from his troubles. 1 Samuel chapter 26, verses 23 through 24. And David had good reasons for such confidence. Deliverance had been a theme throughout his life, whether it was from the lion, the bear, or the Philistine giant, 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 37, or later, from Saul's murderous pursuit of him. David was quick to attest to God's rescue. It is surprising, then, that having just avowed his contentment to the delivering hand of God, David then convinced himself in his heart that Saul would eventually kill him. Rather than reflecting on God's goodness and faithfulness, he allowed his thoughts to go to dark places. His confidence gave way to depression, and his faith gave way to fear, and so he went to seek security in the company of the enemy. 1 Samuel chapter 27, verse 2. A decision that would lead to a mess of deceit and difficulty. Our thoughts really matter. They give rise to our actions. As an old saying reminds us of this principle, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. And sow a character, reap a destiny. You may be able to look back on chapters in your own life when, like David, you began to talk nonsense to yourself, making foolish choices, and found yourself trapped. You may be in the place right now, struggling to stop your thoughts spiraling downwards, and leading you into a course of action that you may know deep down is unwise or wrong. David didn't just need saving from threats of his life, he needed saving from himself, and so do you and I. But the good news is that we can't exhaust God's kindness and mercy, even if our thoughts have gone in the wrong direction, and even if our actions have taken us off course. As God rescued David, so he has rescued us through the cross of Christ. When you find your thoughts turning to dark places, then remind yourself of God's goodness, deliverance, and faithfulness, and let that shape your heart's response to the difficulties you face and shape the course you take as you navigate them. Where to turn when your thoughts go dark. That was the title of our devotional thought for today, and I trust that God gave you some good examples and good encouragement from this devotional thought. And those of you reading through the Word of God in a year, your portion today is Psalms 119 verses 1 through 88 and 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Clive Walsh here. May the Lord truly bless you and keep you in the light of His Word so that you can look up and know that His return is soon and all this will pass very, very soon. God bless you.